Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you are in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now. Welcome back, everybody, to the Kee To Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Jen McKee, and today I'm here with Chuck Worley. I'm so excited to talk with him. We actually met at the EGIA golf tournament, and I could not help myself but to go and talk to him when I saw him because he was fully branded. Yes, we were in golf clothes, and I feel like golf clothes kind of lend themselves to having a little bit of fun, but I just immediately knew, like, this guy, he understands the importance of standing out, and when I talked to him, I knew there was just so much more, and he would be a great asset for the show. So
Chuck, all the way down to the shoe. You see that?
Right.
All the way down to the shoe.
That's perfect.
Branding, always be branding is kind of my tagline. Always be branding. Always.
Tell them who you are, where you're from, what you do, all the things.
So I am Chuck Worley. I've been in the heating and air business for 56. I got into the apprentice school when I was 20, so a long time, right? So
a couple years.
Yeah, a couple of years. Probably before you were born, right? So long
Maybe
time.
So. We won't tell my age.
So yeah, the trades definitely changed my life. I like to tell that story all the time because people don't realize how great the trades are now. These guys, these kids, can make great money and have careers. And, from a guy who started out at $6.24 an hour, these guys are making a little bit more than that. So yeah, I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia. Most anybody that's had any military experience has heard of Norfolk, Virginia. We are right in the heart of Hampton Roads, which is basically Williamsburg to Virginia Beach. Things that are near us, if you don't know where Virginia Beach is, we have Langley, we have Nassau, we have NOB, NAB, we have 20. My joke is I never have to worry about a nuclear, anything happen after a nuclear, because if we get hit, we literally have everything within 50 miles of here. So we're the first target, right? We have Newport News Shipyard, the apprentice, I went to the apprentice school there a long time ago. So yeah, the only shipyard in the country that builds aircraft carriers. So cool. Really, really great area that I grew up in. My dad was a Navy chief. He was a senior chief and raised me with character, integrity, doing the right thing, or you get some of that, right? Now I stepped outside of those lines every now and then, but I always came back inside, right? So heck, I actually feared my mom more than my dad, right? She's tough as nails. So, but yeah, so kind of grew up here. My dad got stationed here when I was in 6th grade. So I local boy, 757 guy, grew up here. Struggled in school. We were talking kind of about kids. I talk to high school kids all the time because I had dyslexia in 3rd grade. I failed out, had to go to a special school for a year. 6th grade, I failed 6th grade. I failed my senior year of English. School was not my thing. I tell people all the time, my wife gets irritated with me now. Since I've seen you last, I got married.
Congratulations.
So, very
exciting. I know you were engaged, though.
God sent me an angel. So yeah, so she gets mad at me when I say I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. I'm a hard worker. I'm just not a school guy. I'm not scholarly. She's got a degree. Both my kids got degrees. School is not my thing. I had ADHD, ADD. I had every, was it every noun in the, every letter in the alphabet. Yeah. So, I was on Ritalin in 3rd grade. So school, I just wasn't my thing. But I put my hands on something. I'm a grinder. I go to work. I was a state champ in wrestling, state champ at track. Once I grab onto something, I'm fine, but just school was not my thing. I went to Norfolk State, which is a local historical Black college right here in our local area in Norfolk, and failed out of that. Because I was a state champ, I got recruited to the apprentice school at Newport News Shipyard, which I told you is the only shipyard in the country that builds aircraft carriers. Great. They have a Division III college inside the apprentice school, or inside the shipyard, called the Apprentice School. It's a Newport News Shipyard apprentice school. So great college. It taught me, my wrestling coach actually got me in there through wrestling. team, and I was captain of the team for a couple of years. It was a great experience for me, but it taught me a trade in heating and air conditioning. So I learned a trade, almost failed out of the apprentice school every semester because, I mean, like it was a joke, like, hey, you got a job tomorrow? I'm like, I'll let you know Monday. Like I had no idea if I was going to graduate. Like I said, I was not afraid of hard work. It was a great experience for me. I did graduate. I probably graduated with a 1.2 GPA, but I did graduate. So my joke is I'm the most successful and lowest GPA scored graduate of the apprentice. So, but you know, go to work. So I went to work for a couple companies after I left the shipyard. I was there 6 years. After I graduated from apprentice school, stayed a couple years. I went to work for a couple companies. I go back to what my dad taught me: character, integrity, doing the right thing. We all know, being in our industry, those are not really popular things in our industry. Back then, I mean, drugs were rampant. I mean, they probably still are now, but I mean, back then it was just the 90s, 2000s. I mean, it was just, so anyway, I didn't want anything to do with that. I wanted to work and go to work and not have to worry about being surrounded by craziness. And so I opened up my own company in 2001. I ran that for about 13 years. My ex-wife now actually led me to Christ, gave me 2 perfect kids, and at 50 decided to be single. So kind of ruined my world. I had a $2 million business. I was, you know, I wasn't the most successful guy in the world, but I had a nice business. I had, you know, 12, 15 people working for me. And my whole life was set upside down and lit on fire. So I had a friend of mine at the time that said, hey, look, I'll buy your company, $2 million business for $1. You give me all your couple $100,000 in assets. I give you $1. You know, he takes a phone number and I'll pay your debt off. Well, at the time it was $500,000 of debt. I was over water. I was heartbroken. I was a wreck, right? So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I do that. And then within a year, I find out that he cannot afford to pay back the bills. So he doesn't. So he pays his bills and not mine. And what happens to the $500,000 of debt?
That's terrible.
It's all mine. I get it all back. So he gets the company phone number. I get all the debt. And it literally puts an 803 Beacon score, credit score, to 450 in 12 months. It literally, so I'm heartbroken, get divorced, and then I sell my baby, and then I get not paid. And
oh no.
Oh my God, 2015 was probably the worst year of my life. And so I'd go chapter 7. Remember, 803 Beacon score. I paid my bills, right? So character, integrity, doing the right thing, paying. Like I was crying and going chapter 7. Like I always joke, there's 2 bankruptcies and then there's chapter 7. Like I was so upside down. It was awful. So I end up going through that. And then my son is he is my best friend. And you know, he works for me now. He's actually my full partner now. He's in partnership with me. Everything's official now. So this year. But back then, he's 22 years old. He actually went Division I in lacrosse. He was a phenom and great in lacrosse. Went Division I, broke his back, 6 surgeries on knees.
Oh my gosh, so much.
So he's going through surgery, barely able to walk with his back and his knees. And oh my gosh. So by the grace of God, he is fine. He golfs. Everything's fine. He's back to normal. So he ends up transferring back here locally to a great college called Christopher Newport University, CNU, which I love. Both my kids graduated from there. He's in school. He's a sophomore. And he's like, Dad, he's watching me. I mean, I'm broken from my divorce. I'm broken from selling my company. I'm working for other people. I'm miserable. He goes, Dad, just open your own company again. And I'm like, I'm still dealing with, I'm not doing that. And he goes, look, good, let's buy this company together. We'll do it together. We'll get to work together every day. And I'm living every dad's dream to work with his son every day. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. He goes, look, go sell, go get me business, and I'll do everything else. Now, remember, he's in college. He's a sophomore carrying 18 to 21 credits per semester. Anybody doesn't know about college? 12 hours is full time. He's carrying 18 to 21 credits. I said, Chase, I'm going to have to hire somebody to get, he goes, I got it. So we get Service Titan. We bring Service Titan on. He becomes a master, Zen master of Service Titan, takes everything. So in between classes, in between lacrosse practice, in between vice president of Pike fraternity, like all this stuff, he's working 50 hours a week for me. He's running jobs. He's doing all this stuff in between classes, and I'm just hammering sales. So we buy a $300,000 company that's 10 years old, doing about $300 a year. In 12 months, we're at 1.1 million.
Nice.
So he's doing everything. I mean, we have one girl answering the phone. He's doing everything else. Like
Yeah.
We drive his senior year, we did 1.75 million out of his dorm. We had trucks flying everywhere. I mean, he is just everything that I'm great at, he's just as good at, the opposite of what I'm great at. So like,
Right.
you want to put me in QuickBooks, right? Because that would be
Yeah.
but you don't want to put him, he won't wear this pretty jacket, right?
Right.
So we're like so on the far spectrum. If anybody has read EOS, which is Entrepreneur's Operating System through Traction, the book Traction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like when I was reading that book, I was reading about Chase and I. I was like, are they watching us? Like, did they so anyway, we grow that business. We take that business from 1.75. I've done a couple of acquisitions on the way, little small companies. I'm not a big PE. I don't have a lot of cash running around. Like we do the guys that want to stay. I am in the local market. I'm not buying anything outside of 757. This is my market. Those vans, use every single day. We got 60, 70 vans running around now. So we basically taken owning our market to the next level. And so we've basically gone from 1.75 in 2 years, we're at 6.6. 2 years later, or a year and a half later, we're at 10 million. Last year, we finished that at 13.6. And this year, our budget, this is April, right? April 17th, we're on budget to do 17 million in basically 8 to 9 years. So
amazing.
We own our market. So when we were in 2019, my son's first year out of college, so he graduates in 18. So all that goes away. He's done with college. He graduates. Now he's full-time in the company, working 80 hours a week right beside me. I'm in the field. I'm selling. In 2019, I sold $2.5 million out of the $3.5 million we did in business. So literally the whole company was me, and then Chase was operating everything behind me. So we got to the point where he's like, Dad, we had selling techs, and I was the only salesman. So then we had to bring on another person, because I'm 50 some years old, working 80 some hours a week. I'm in 5-10 houses a day. Like, I'm doing every single, what we call a happy check. So after every single install, I was coming back to inspect it to make sure it was done up to our standards, which is why I think our referral rate is so high. We still do that now. We just do it with technicians, kind of our older guys, kind of doing QA. So, because I just can't get to every job anymore. So we've gone from that to expand to technician selling and other guys selling. So you had talked about the branding and marketing. Chase is like,
I definitely have a lot of questions about your marketing.
So I don't do anything half-assed, if you may have gotten that by my personality. But so my son's like, all right, Dad, I need you to back out of sales. I've been a salesman my whole life. I've been selling $1 million since I was 30, right? So it's taken my whole identity. Like, I'm like, what do you mean I can't sell? Like, he's like, we need our guys to make more money. We need, so I'm going to pull you out of sales. I need you focused on marketing and manage and bringing business in and getting in front of people. His term is, Dad, I pay you to not shake babies, shake hands and kiss babies. So believe me, I'm asked if I'm running for office all the time, because every single event. I tell people,
let's talk about that. I'm so curious of, like, when you were in the sales and you guys were growing, I mean, you mentioned acquisitions and of course sales, but like, how were you guys getting these customers to begin with? Like, you were broken, you didn't have the phone number for your old company, so you basically had to start over again. So where were these customers coming from? What were some of your first marketing tactics?
So like I said, I bought this company doing $300,000 a year.
Right.
I am a salesman. So I took those opportunities and I added to them. So the first company, I'm a building science guy. So like, blower door testing, like negative pressure. I love science of houses. So I am a whole house guy. I actually have a radio show that's on YouTube and called the 757 House Whisper. Okay. So what that is, talks about fixing houses. And I'm focused. I want to own my market as the guy that will get the question answered. I'm the guy you call for solutions. If franchise is a slap and a heat pump for you, I'm not doing that. We're looking at the whole house and taking over the whole house. Heating and air, electrical, plumbing, crawl space encapsulation, spray foam insulation. Like, I am the only call that you need to make, right? So training our customers that we're the guy. So
you got opportunities in each of these existing customers for this $300,000 business.
So I take this $300,000 customer, let's say a crawl space is, back then it could be 5 to 10 grand. Now it's 10 to 15. So I'll take that $10,000 to $15,000 customer and say, have you looked at the ductwork lately? Like, here's the pictures. Everything's pictures now, right? And it's like, oh my God, that's my ductwork. We're, hey, $10,000 more while we're there. When we pull the ductwork out, we can actually do a better job on the crawl space and then put new duct in. This is what my new ductwork looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks really clean. So you turn a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 into a $20,000, $25,000 job. So that's how we were able to go from 300 to 1.1 million, because we utilized that same customer doing more stuff, which is why everybody, I mean, I feel like I did it before it was cool. Now it seems like everybody's doing home service, like doing
multiple
everything.
trades, right?
You know, so that's how we're doing. Now, once you have a great experience with our company, you want to do more business with us. Like, you really want to say, good luck, Google? Like, you really want to go back into the marketplace and say, God, I hope Google sends me a great, and again, Google, we use it, you know, it's a great product.
You need it. It's so necessary, but there's so many other things out there that are going to.
If you have a relationship, I'm talking about relationship sales, you have a great experience with us, you have a crawl space that's beautiful now, are you really going to cause some other guy that doesn't care about that crawl space to mess up putting in a new duct system? I tell people, look, I'm not doing your duct work if you hire somebody else to do the crawl space. If we're doing the crawl space, we're doing the duct work too. So, and then off of that, oh, you do heating and air? Oh, look, there's a $10,000 change out. So 2 years now, something goes wrong. You had a great experience. The guys were professional. They show up. We got the 10 commandments of an employee. So we have a standard of employee. You're not going to be, I'll tell you a great story about the standard of employee. We had a customer call us and said, we had done our crawl space. We had done our duct work. We had changed out her equipment. She had a plumbing leak like 2 years later. So she's already seen people, right? She's already used to our standard of employee that's going in there, right? So she comes in, she calls us, she says, hey, look, he's not one of us. What do you mean she's not one of us? She's not a Whirley. He is not what I expect when I call it. The guy had been with us for about 3 weeks. He was a plumber, 50-year-old plumber. He didn't wear booties. He was unprofessional when he talked to her. He was, I mean, you got to believe people, right? And so it's kind of like dating when you're hiring people. They only show you the good parts, right? So, so anyway, we go in and sure enough, within a week, we had fired him because she was right. He just wasn't willing to be polite. He wasn't willing to like do the right thing. He was cutting corners.
Do what was expected.
So within 3 or 4 weeks, he was gone, right? So I thought that was a really cool example of your standard of employee. You get your customers expecting more from us, which I'm okay with, right? And that's how we get our next business is from somebody, you know, from our existing customer base. So you take that one customer who, when we do the acquisitions, will buy a heating and air customer, but then he'll do an electrical panel with us a year from now. Because he such a great experience with the plumber. I tell my guys, it's not a customer until they refer us once you were in the house. And if we're not getting referrals after you were in the house, you didn't exceed expectations.
Yeah. I mean, that is so important when it comes to how to build your business, is making sure that the systems are in place to ensure a great experience. But I know you're doing so much more now because of Always Be branding. So I know, you know, you mentioned, and I like to come back to that, with your son taking you out, and now your job is to be the brand. So what are some of the things that you're doing now, and how are you seeing that benefit Whirley's?
So even when I was just a salesman, right? When I'm just a salesman, I'm passing out cards every day. I'm meeting a guy in 7-Eleven. I'm passing my card. Hey man, if you ever need a heat pump, you know, give me a call. You ever have any issues with your house, call me. Even if you just got a question about the roof, call me, because I want to get them in the habit of calling me, right? So even just in sales, I was doing that. So I always had a goal to try and pass out 5 cards a day and receive 5 cards a day. So networking events, and it's not a lot. It's not like I'm going to 6 events a day back then. I'm in 7-Eleven. I see a guy that, you know, or I'm at Home Depot and he's buying a filter. If you're a heating and air guy and you don't walk through the filter aisle, what are you doing? Like, hand me the card. They're obviously having issues, right? So, you know, Chase kind of stole my identity as a salesman. I'm like, man, I got to figure this thing out. So as I was saying, I don't do anything half-assed. So I said, all right, if all I'm doing is branding and marketing, my colors are going to look like that band. I have to be in everybody's face. I'm going to be shaking hands and kissing babies. My goal now, because my full-time job is getting in front of people is to get in front of 100 people a day. How is that possible? Now, there may be one day I'm at a state of the city. Well, there's 500 people there.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned, and this is key, you mentioned you saw me, you had to talk to me, right? Every marketing person says that to me.
Yeah.
So trying to get an owner to embrace his brand and just wear a logoed shirt is like, breaking teeth apparently. So I had a marketing lady walk up to me one time and she's like, dude, there's just trying to get an owner to embrace his brand and wrap his truck, like get him to wear a t-shirt. He goes, just trying to get them to embrace their brand. And then there's you.
Yeah.
She's
even like put it on their Facebook. Like it's amazing. Owners don't even put their business on their Facebook page as like where they work. Like this is easy.
Yes, it's easy. So I took that and I just went to the next level. I actually, when I was doing crawl space encapsulations and I was doing all the sales, I came up with a thing that said, what's stuck in Chuck's crawl? And I would send pictures of just crazy stuff, dead animals to, steamboat engine whistles off of a tugboat, like crazy stuff I find in these crawl spaces. And people would respond and I got them engaged. And now
I love that.
Our guys do it.
Yeah.
So I am basically embracing the brand every single day. I'm at State of the Unions. I'm at every single chamber event. I mean, there's days I'm in 5 events a day. I'll have 3 events between 4 and 7. So I'll find out which one goes the latest, which one starts the earliest. I get there at 3:45 because people always get there early, right? So I'll bounce around for 30 to 45 minutes. I mean, I have people joke, dang, man, I just saw you and you weren't here. And then I saw you were in Williamsburg, which is 45 minutes from here. So my goal is to just remind people I'm taking pictures, not to put myself on Facebook, but to put myself in front of the people. So I can get in front. I walk into the State of the Union, there's 500 people. Me and you are going to get noticed in a crowd. So I can't physically talk to 500 people. I can't, like I love talking. I can't talk to 500 people in 2 hours, but can 500 people see me?
Yeah. And
100%.
notice you. Not even
I could go there. I could go there and not talk to somebody and still get noticed by 300. And now I walk into meetings. I got mayors. I've never met a mayor. Now I have. I've never met a mayor. I've been here since 6th grade. I've never met a mayor except for the last 2 years. I've met 7 mayors now. We have mayors everywhere. It seems like. But now I have mayors walking up, dapping me up. Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
There was one guy that came up from, I think it was from Portsmouth. I didn't know who he was. He walked up, started dapping me up. I looked over to the guy and I'm like, who was that? He goes, that's such and such mayor. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. So if I got the mayors noticing me, I've got other people noticing me, right? I've got everybody needs our service. It's not a question of if you're ever going to need me, it's when. So I have to top of mind awareness. I have to remind you to call me. I used to get, and I know you've heard this before, owners all the time, people walking up, oh man, I forgot. Oh,
right.
Forgot what? I just had a $10,000 franchise.
Yeah, I forgot you did that.
Yeah, for $15,000. They got banged over the head by this franchise putting in crap equipment, and I'm like, why would you have not called? I've totally forgot.
Right.
So I tell people,
like, I didn't even know you did that.
Oh my gosh.
How does your warm network not know what you do? We have so many resources of getting our businesses out there in front of our warm network. And that's exactly what you're doing by showing up, being visible. I think a big thing too is that some people really struggle, especially when we're looking at marketing, and marketing is all about ROI, right? Which it's really not, because marketing is only the first step. It can't be all about ROI. But with what you did, like you said, your job is brand awareness. And honestly, that's my job too. It's big relationships, it's brand awareness, it's visibility. That's how we grow our company. And I tell people it works exactly the same for me as it does for a home service provider. It's really just being in front of your community, whoever that community is. So regardless of what you do, what your business is, who you serve, your job is to be visible in front of that community so that, like you said, they don't forget you and go to someone else. They know exactly what it is that you do. But is there a way that you guys are measuring how much of an impact this is making on the business?
So, I have my own personal phone number that rings into Service Titan. So, we can tell that just from me, my relationship,
your
branding,
business cards,
it's over $1 million a year, every year.
Nice. I freaking love that. That's so cool.
Yeah. Now I joke my son all the time that Google and him steal from me, because I'll have a guy that I went to.
Search you.
Yeah. I went to, this guy I went to high school with 30 years ago. I've talked to him a couple of times on Facebook, or he'll hit me up and say, hey, I was going to call you. I got having some problems. So I'll forward that to my office person to make sure that I get credit for that. Because what happens was, I mean, I get credit for it because it's my company. But
right.
My
like,
ego,
really
my
matter,
ego.
but it's
Yeah.
you want the
I'm a $2.5 million plus salesman. Like I want credit for bringing business in. So anyway, a guy calls me, or one of my sons calls me and he said, "Hey, do you know this guy? This guy's from New York. Does not sound like a local guy. He sounds like he's out of the mafia. I love this guy. Like as soon as I talk to him on the phone, I just feel like I'm busting into Goodfellas, you know." But so anyway, we're talking and Chase is like, "Man, he keeps saying he called off a Google call or Yelp or what? Not Yelp, but Google." And he called off. I was like, "Bitch, I went to high school with him. He called me. Like he's my referral." It was like a $20,000 job. And he's like, "No, look, it's right here. He called through Google." I'm like, "We went to high school together. There's no way he doesn't know
and
Whirley's."
the other thing to look at, and I tell people this, is like one way to track your brand awareness is your branded searches. Like if people are searching for you by name, like that 100%. Is nothing but a brand awareness. So anything that you're doing for brand awareness is clearly impacting that branded search. And so we have clients that say like, "Oh, since we started working with you guys, our branded search went up." And so that's a big way to look at it too. So they're coming from
ours
Google,
is probably,
but like, how did they find you?
50%. I would say it's pretty high. I don't know if it's quite 50%, but our brand, looking up our name, looking up Whirley's is pretty significant.
And it's so much easier to convert somebody who is searching for you specifically because they already have trust in you. Like this is not, and that's the difference between, again, like Google is important as a company who's looking for growth. Like you want to be in every marketing channel that you can be. You don't want to be invisible anywhere. So of course, investing in all of that is important, but it's so much easier to convert a customer who has either worked with you before, has been referred to you, or has a relationship with your brand. And in this case with you, Chuck, it's going to be way easier for them to want to work with you because of who you are and not care about the price.
And I'm acceptable. I'm accessible.
Yeah.
Like there's I've told people at networking events, I have to see you again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to make sure that job goes right because I got to see you again. Like the guy, the franchise, the Mr. Jimmy John, you know, just the franchise guys, they don't care about you. They're working the numbers. They don't have a relationship here. Ours is more relationship selling than any other type of company because we're in your house. We're in your face. Like we're dealing with your personal comfort. We're dealing with, plumbing leaks. Like we're in relationships. All of my guys are local guys. Everybody grew up here. Like most of the guys grew up here. We have a couple military guys that brought in, but most people been here more than a year. Like this is a pretty local area, I think. And it's, hey, you went to high school at York. You went to high school at Tab High School. Like, oh, you went to Norfolk. Yeah, I went to Norfolk. Like, so I don't know. I just think it's a local brand, a local, and we talk about that. We focus on that. Like we are from here. We want this job to go perfectly. A lot of these guys are praying that we do have, because we have so much military, we do have some transit. With some of these companies focus on, hey, every 7 years, this guy's going to be somebody different.
Right.
We don't. We want that customer forever. It's a different marketing strategy when you want to take over the house and be there forever. Now, when they move, I want them to take me with them.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies are focused on, hey, let's just, bang them over the head. Let's get this one job. And then they don't care if you ever call them back. I want you to call me for everything. Yeah. And that's why we're growing. I mean, I think it's one of the reasons that we're growing for sure.
Yeah. So there's two other things that I want to touch on. And I know we're coming close to the end of our time, but I think they're really important. One of them is, and I just want to ask about your radio show. So I did a podcast episode with Tersh Blissett back, and he's also the producer of my podcast, and he has Service Business Mastery. But one thing that he talks about is the importance or a marketing strategy of creating a local podcast, because again, like I said, the visibility in front of your audience is what's important here. So tell me about your radio show. Is it a podcast? It's a radio podcast.
So we have a local talk radio show that has Ask the Experts. So I've been on Ask the Experts shows for the last 20 years on 790 AM here locally in the 757. I mean, it used to be a manufacturer that backed it up, and then I'd go on as a sponsor with a manufacturer. That no longer exists. And then I had another show back 15 years ago that had had a roofer, a heating and air guy, which was me, a pest control guy, and a builder. So we all came together, 4 of us, and created this radio show back 15 years ago. Unfortunately, my best friend Keith passed away, and he was kind of the catalyst for it.
Yeah.
So he passes away. So anyway, then I go through my divorce stuff, start all that over, and then come out of that. And I forgot to tell you, the most positive part of that negative nightmare divorce and bankruptcy is I went back and I paid back every single person out of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And that is one of the proudest things that I've done in my life.
That's good. And good people, good things happen to them. So good for you. I know that probably was hard to do, but that's how we keep moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was great. But anyway, so I wanted to put this kind of back together. So I got a pest control guy, a roofer, a builder, a window guy, and we kind of got this group called the 757 House Whisperer. Again, trying to focus everybody as I am the expert. I am the founder of the show, the host of the show, and I bring these other guys in to co-host the show. So they kind of advertise their business, the 757 House Whisperer. So it's on live radio that I Facebook Live it, and then I take that clip and I think LinkedIn, but I put it onto Spotify, and we use this StreamYard thing that you use. We kind of put it out.
You can get it on all of the channels.
I put it through. I mean, I've got chuckwworley.com. Callwhirleys.com is kind of the website for Whirleys, but chuckwworley.com. I'm doing a mastermind class twice a month. I do a Zoom call.
Tell us about that.
For local company, or not local companies, for anybody across the country, really. I do twice a month. I do the first and third Monday of every month between 9:30 and 10:30. I'm very sharp with the time. I'd love to have you on to kind of listen and even as an asset to the show. But teaching small companies, people are spending thousands and thousands. I'm in C12, which is a Christian CEO group. I'm in other peer groups and CEO peer groups, and I'm trying to start an academics group, trying to get some bigger companies in with me doing that. So like, it costs thousands of dollars to put all that stuff together, right? So I said, how do you help the guy that's doing $1 million, $2 million, $3 million? How do you help them get to $5 million where they can afford to spend thousands of dollars on a consultant? So that's when I came up with my kind of small niche of marketing, branding, sales, called I lost it. It's just a mastermind, always be branding, mastermind, Zoom call twice a month. I mean, I charge like $99 a month. Like, it's nothing, but you can ask any questions. I've obviously taken a company from 300 to 17 million with my son's big help, like the back end, but I know what I'm doing. So people, if they can listen to it, they can ask me any questions about that. And I'd love to help them, but I'm not full financial coaching and all. I'm not doing any of that. What I want to do is help you drive your brand, grow your brand. And then you can afford to hire, guys, that want to do that coaching and stuff. I don't want to do that. I want to help people grow the brand, grow the revenue, and, but be able to do it at a low price so you can afford to grow, right? So.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that would be incredibly beneficial. Just listening to all of the things that you do, it's obvious that this comes really naturally to you to just come up with like another idea. And I think as marketing people like myself, it's very natural for me to be like, oh, let's just do this. And you don't overthink it. You just go do it and then keep doing it. And so having that mastermind is probably
and it's fun, man. I mean, giving back and helping people. And I mean, I just think it's a great way. I mean, I am doing more speaking events. I spoke at the National Comfort Institute Summit last year. I've spoke there 3 or 4 times over the last 20 years. I'm really starting to focus more on speaking events and trying to help people grow their market, grow their brand. I don't want to be in your business. I'm not competition. I promise. I don't want anything to do with that. But I feel like I can add some value to companies and in helping them to, get out of your shell, embrace your brand, or hire somebody to embrace your brand. Like, you've got to be in front of people. Own your market. Own your zip code. Not zip code. Own your, phone number. What's that? Area code. Yeah, area code. Right. So, but I'd love opportunities for speaking events and national comfort, like national stuff. I think I think it'll be fun. Like, it's
that's awesome. Very cool. Okay. Well, we've come to the end here. And so the very last thing that we ask all of our guests before we have you drop all your links and your handles and everything is you're on the Kee To Growth podcast. So what is the Kee To Growth?
I think, just like we've been talking about the whole time, is own your brand. Be proud of where you work at. Tell people what you do. Get in front of people. Shake hands. Kiss babies. Do not be be afraid. You don't have to be outgoing and crazy like I am, like getting in front of people's face. But when you're passing cards out, get in front of people. Tell them what you do. Because if you don't, the next time you see them, they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know you did plumbing. I just spent 20 grand. What? Like, and then you're mad. Now I have people coming up saying, hey, I just had work done by you guys last week. That's the comment I have now, which is a lot more comfortable conversation. I could say thank you instead of, why are you telling me this? Right? I just want to kill you. Why are you telling me this? I don't want to.
Right. I love that. Well, tell people where they can find you and learn more about your mastermind, your podcast.
Yeah. So if you go, so always be branding. I've actually just opened up a business center here where I'm kind of like a gather, like a co-working space. I've got other companies renting in here in your town. That's been fun. Always be branding is kind of my go-to line, but I'm the mastermind, the Always Be Branding Mastermind. You can find that on chuckwworley.com. You can also find Call Whirleys. I've got the radio station is connected to chuckwworley.com. My cell number is 757-955-9415. You're more than welcome to call or text that line to get a hold of me. That's 955-9415. 757. I keep forgetting this is, you're famous. So you're like all across.
This is national.
That's right. But yeah, I'm pretty easy, pretty accessible. Love helping people to grow their company. So.
Awesome. This was so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything that you shared. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for thinking of me.
All right. See you soon.